All right, been trying to make this video for quite a while, and it's frustrating because I'm trying to say a lot of things in one video, and I will spare you that. I try to stay on one subject, and that's really reflecting on how has the last couple months gone. And this isn't really about weight loss or health or anything like that. This has to do with why I started this, where I am today, and where I'm going. And I think starting at the end of August of last year, mostly kind of getting it started in September, being able to spend some time learning how to talk to the camera and getting involved with learning about fasting and all this awesome. It's incredible. But that's not really the point of the entire thing. The point is to see if I could change who I am. Is it possible at my age to be able to improve my health, to improve my focus, to think about how am I going to spend the next 20, 30 years of my life, and is it going to be valuable? Is it going to help anybody? And so I started this as also just kind of branching off of what I've been doing for about 10 years. Got involved in my community and got involved with helping local businesses. I joined the Chamber of Commerce. I joined my local Main Street organization. I attend all the meetings at the town hall, not all of them, but I have attended a lot of meetings at the town hall and was a part of helping out my local government and volunteering myself at historical societies to preserve the history of two towns that I work and live in. So that was where it started 10 years ago. And it seemed to be a pretty amazing thing, but somewhere along the line, I got lost. You volunteer yourself into oblivion, and a lot of people tend to do that, and it is nice because you're helping out, whether you're mentoring kids or you're interns at our local business that we own. A lot of things went pretty well. One of the coolest things that I was involved with was helping a kid get a record contract. With Universal Music Group, which was like a big deal. I helped shoot the videos, shot him practicing, and we had this. We got to a little record label, and then we got to a bigger record label, and then Universal Music bought his contract, which is incredible. And his last video has almost 6 million views. So. It's up to him to keep going. I ended up getting out of that organization. There was absolutely no money in it, but it achieved one of my bucket list items, which was to help somebody get a record contract. I have this crazy bucket list that I've been doing for years, and there's just not that much left on it. At this point, it is really about creating a sustainable future for humanity, and it's so vast. But as you will learn through my history, is that I'm going to tell you that nothing is impossible in this life. There isn't anything that you can't do. It may not be exactly the way you think of it in your head, because we can imagine things and they can be so perfect in our heads, and a lot of people just like to live there. But the more exciting thing is if you can get out in the world and actually experience it. Like I just found out, I've been thinking about why isn't American Ninja Warrior have like these small places where people could train, and somebody just told me that there's a local place right now that actually does that. And I thought, well, there you go. It's amazing. So anything's possible in this world. For myself, I always wanted to work in filmmaking. I always wanted to work in music. I kept thinking I was going to be a cinematographer, and I kept getting pulled back into music because my true love, and where my heart is music. It's sound and it's music. And no matter how successful I was in my, shooting commercials or working on feature films, I always got pulled back into doing music. Whether I was in a band, on and off, different bands for over 20 years. But I guess my claim to fame is the work I did on a series called Classic Albums, where I got to meet most of my heroes, from Paul Simon to everybody. It's just been crazy. We work with, it doesn't matter. The resume doesn't matter. What matters is that I believe that if you have, first of all, if you have belief in yourself, that's number one. Do you like yourself? Do you look in the mirror and say, I like that person? Then if you like what you see and you love the person that you are, then you've got everything you need to go out in this world and start finding your way. So, and it's not about superficial stuff as far as looks. I mean, it is. I mean, in some ways, you know, what you wear, how you present yourself, you know, are you 400 pounds overweight, you know, all that kind of stuff. It can harm, you know, getting a good job. Sometimes it can help you get a good job. Sometimes it hurt you. What you say, what you do, what you believe, and all those things. Yeah, your presentation is huge. It's massive. But your belief in yourself is far more important than what you look like. So, and that's just from my experience, and I'm trying to work on that. So how and why I started this channel is, why would anybody believe in someone who didn't believe in themselves? So what I am doing with this channel is to deconstruct everything, to try to let go of the resume items, to try to let go of that, you know, I worked with this person, or I went to this country, or I have this much money in the account. You know, it's to let it all go and start over again and say, well, where can you improve yourself midlife here? And one of the biggest things was, you know, going off of what the doctor said, is that basically you are unhealthy, you're headed towards a disastrous place, you've got to fix these issues, and I have been working on that. And it's been a long process. It's a lot longer than I thought. I thought I would probably be here around January, where I am, well, not January, December or November. I could sit here and talk to you and say, I've lost the 40 pounds, I'm in great shape, all the statistics and all that stuff from the doctor, everything's great, it's fantastic, but that didn't happen because life gets in the way. So it's so critically important that you can focus on yourself, do the best you can with eating and diet and exercise, mental health. Turn these things off, keep them away from your bed if you possibly can. You know, turn off the notifications, try to get a good night's sleep, but focus on yourself and what you want to do. And if you have the time, the money, the energy to be able to volunteer, to help somebody else out in this world, that is so critically important in the 21st century. If you have a good idea, get it out there. Lately, 2 years ago, my concept was a brand new deal. Call it, you know, FDR's, you know, New Deal style infrastructure plan for America. And I just heard this recently. People are starting to talk about it. The new Democrats that have come into the House have started talking about a New Deal, Green New Deal, they call it. Unfortunately, right now, it's kind of a nebulous thing. People aren't really talking about specifics. And sometimes the spokespeople are not the people I would like to have as spokespeople. But a good idea should win. In our world, a good idea should win. An idea that will help humanity survive the next 10,000 years. Those are the concepts that we should be thinking about today. Not what's on television, not how I can anesthetize my brain, not about the smaller ideas. We need to think of the bigger concept that we need to get to, which is fixing 500 different problems we have. You know, I had a list, I can't find it right now, but there are so many issues confronting us in the 21st century. So going back to why I started this, which is I have to improve myself. I haven't been involved with my community. I'm trying to reach out to a broader community with these videos. I'm trying to actually do the butterfly effect and try to empower you watching and empower myself through the process so that I can do the things that I've said I was going to do in my life before I die, and to help you if you're interested in helping yourself. Anyway, I think somebody's home right now, so I'm gonna shut off the camera. All right, because it'll make a lot of noise and all that stuff. All right.